I remember a time when these tall, flat thermometers would mysteriously appear around town at busy intersections overnight. And like any unused thermometer, in the beginning when they would first show up, at the bottom of the thermometer would be a pool of red. And over a 2 to 3 month period, that pool of red would slowly rise up towards the top of the thermometer. These thermometers have been used for years nationwide by United Way agencies in order to track the success of an annual United Way fundraising campaign. And, sorry, I've totally lost my train of thought. Haven't had this happen before. So they've been used nationwide, and they were used to track the success of an annual fundraising campaign. Now, I have been a fairly inconsistent contributor to United Way all my adult years. Pretty much any time I would contribute to United Way is when it was expected of me from my employer. I've never really given this organization much depth of thought, and yet when you think about it, they make a tremendous impact on the community. I know they raise a lot of local dollars. They give these local dollars to local agencies who in turn are providing services and programs to people. All that is great stuff. Nobody can refute that. But beyond that, I've never really given the organization much thought. The fact of the matter is, who's making the decisions about where the funding goes? Who's making the decisions about what agencies, programs, and services are going to receive this funding and which are not? Those are critical decisions and difficult decisions. And right now, if you think about it, here in Asheville, for instance, there's a lot of need. There's a lot of organizations that are working really hard to fill that need, but with very limited funding. This year, I was invited to serve on a United Way committee, and I now understand and know how some of those difficult decisions are being made. And I can honestly say, as a contributor to United Way, I'm quite confident that the money, the little bit of money that I put into United Way annually is being smartly invested in our community. United Way relies on a lot of volunteers to help them make decisions about where they're going to invest the dollars. So the committee that I serve on, and there's 4 total committees with about 30 members. So that's a lot of people who are sitting around a table. We're responsible for reviewing the applications that come in once a year. We're responsible for analyzing them and scoring them and having discussions about them. And then in the end, we're making final recommendations to the United Way board how the funds should be distributed. In the fall of 2012, our local United Way agency raised $2.4 million to be distributed in July of this year. That's a lot of money. When I sat on when I attended my first committee meeting and heard about the $2.4 million, one of the first things I thought was, well, wait a minute. I don't remember seeing thermometers out and about town back in the fall of 2012. And when I really thought about it, I hadn't seen those thermometers for the last couple of years. So here's what I've learned. Here's what I found out as being a committee member to our local United Way agency. About 4 years ago, United Way of Asheville-Buncombe made a very strategic decision to shift focus away from just identifying how much money is raised on those thermometers to really focusing more on how is the dollars that we are investing back into our community, what kind of an impact are those dollars making? The raising of the money is absolutely important, and how much money is important. But it's more important that we really track the success of the investment of those dollars by identifying programs and services that are going to have long-term, measurable impact on the people who are receiving those programs and services. And that's what our United Way agency is doing with the money that they're funding. In particular, they are funding programs in 3 primary areas. These 3 areas are education, health, and income. Our local United Way made the decision 4 years ago to fund programs only in these 3 areas because these 3 areas are viewed as building blocks for all citizenry here in Buncombe, Asheville, in order for people to live a good life. So that $2.4 million that is going to be allocated to services and programs and agencies in July is going to services and programs and agencies that are focused on funding income and health. What I know without a doubt is that with the energy of the money raised every year by our local United Way agency, and with the numerous volunteers and the countless volunteer hours that they're contributing to United Way in order to help make some of these difficult decisions, and then with the partnering agencies who are receiving these dollars, if you weave all that energy together, a very positive, strong, united impact is without a doubt being made in Buncombe County. And if you have any interest yourself in being part of that impact, I definitely want to encourage you to go to the United Way website and look for yourself and see for yourself the great work that's being accomplished, and consider in the fall of next year, when the United Way campaign begins, even though you're not going to see those thermometers around town because they don't use them anymore, you will hear about the campaign starting up either through your employer or through the media, and definitely want to consider contributing to the organization. They're doing some really good work. Madam Toastmaster.